Welcome to Biology, My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We are going to discuss the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. Biodiversity means diversity of life forms around us. In our earth, if you consider, lots of species are there around us, plants as well as animals. So we have around 20,000 species of ants, 300,000 species of beetles, 28,000 species of fishes, and 20,000 species of orchids. I'm not talking about the number, but I'm talking about the number of species. So imagine how huge the diversity is. The word diversity was popularized by an ecologist called Edward Wilson. So diversity can be of three types. One is genetic diversity, second species diversity, third ecological diversity or community diversity. So three levels of diversity are present in our nature. So if you consider genetic diversity, it is the variability of genes. It can be in the level of alleles or entire chromosome as such. So this genetic variability will lead to different varieties of the same species. For example, in the Himalayan regions, there is a plant called Rauwolfia serpentina. This plant has a chemical called reserpine. Because of the potency and the concentration of this chemical, the plant shows different varieties. That means different varieties of the same plant contains different amount of this chemical. The same way, if you look at other plants also, we have 50,000 strains of rice and also 1,000 strains of mango. Within a species, if many varieties are there, that is called a genetic diversity. So you may not be asked directly what are the examples of genetic diversity. Rather, you might get questioned that 50,000 rice varieties are there. Which level of biodiversity is this? Then you have to tell genetic diversity. The next level of diversity is species diversity. That means large number of species are present within the same genus. If you consider Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, we know Western Ghat has more biodiversity than Eastern Ghat, especially if you talk about amphibian species. According to International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, that is IUCN data of 2004, there are more than 1.5 million animals and plants around us. We know we have not explored them completely. In the tropical countries, species intervention is almost complete but yet to be discovered. At the same time, temperate region, it's all the more difficult and it is not complete. So once we complete this idea of all the species, we do not know how many species will be there. So some scientists have made some estimation. So usually it is said that 20 to 50 million species are yet to be discovered. We believe the records given by a scientist called Robert May. According to him, because more scientific in nature, it is around only 7 million species. That means we have discovered only 22% of the species existing now. The next level of diversity is called ecological diversity or a community diversity. So different countries have different ecological diversity. So India is a country with a high ecological diversity because we have different geographical areas in India. If you go to Himalayas, it's a snow-covered mountains. But when you come to the northern plains, it's a fertile plain. And in Rajasthan, we have scorching deserts. And in South India, we have Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. We have wetlands, estuaries, forests, rainforests, mangroves, coral reefs, alpine meadows, etc. So if you compare the diversity richness of India with a Scandinavian country like Norway, India has got a very high biodiversity richness. And also we can say that overall estimation, if you take, India occupies only 2.4% of the total global area, that means in terms of land area, but our biodiversity reaches up to 8.1%. And India is one among the 12 mega diversity hotspots in the world. We have around 45,000 species of plants and almost 90,000 species of animals. According to the statistics given by Robert May, in India alone, more than 1 lakh of plants and more than 3 lakhs of animals yet to be discovered. So, maintenance of biodiversity is very crucial for our survival because if biodiversity increases, stability of the nature also increases. More stable the ecosystem, more better for chance of survival for us. So to make a better future or tomorrow, we need to conserve biodiversity. So globally, people are taking international efforts to conserve the biodiversity because we are all the more conscious about the biodiversity conservation and its protection. If you come back to the statistics, out of all the organisms present in this world, 70% are animals. 22% plants and 8% microorganisms. Out of these 70% animals, the majority are insects. So, if you take 10 organisms, 7 are animals. If you take 10 animals, 7 are insects. So, if you calculate the total estimate of the plants, like plants include thallophyta, algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms. But if you take the total number of fishes, amphibians, reptiles and mammals, then fungal species are more in number. We have a pie chart showing the distribution of different types of animals, including vertebrates, invertebrates and plants. Invertebrates means animals without a not a cord, and we know that there are species starting from porifera, then up to coming to echinodermata. So in this group, the maximum is insects, followed by that other group of animals, then comes crustaceans and then mollusks. But when we come to the vertebrate species, the majority of organisms are fishes, then birds, reptiles, amphibians and mammals. In plants, fungi are the most prominent because they are the decomposers, followed by that angiosperms, then algae, then mosses means bryophytes, ferns and alleles means pteridophytes and then lichens, which is a symbiotic association. But still, we don't have an account of all the prokaryotes around us because of certain reasons. One, the existing taxonomical categories are not enough for categorizing or classifying prokaryotes. And also, most of the prokaryotes are not able to be culturable under normal circumstances. In the coming videos, let us discuss more about this chapter. Thank you for watching my video. If you like, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, Biology My Passion.